Welcome to Back to School Night 2021. I'm so excited to have your child in my class this year. I wish we could be meeting in person, but due to the restrictions this year, we are meeting via this video. Hopefully by the end of the year, we'll be able to meet in person. So let's get started. I want to talk to you about our daily schedule. We have split the class into an early bird and later gator schedule. I wanted to go over the early bird schedule first. So for our schedule, the students arrive in the morning, and between 8 and 8:30, we have a morning meeting. And that's where we gather together, we sing a song, and then usually the students will have a question of the day. Yesterday, for example, we talked about feelings and how they felt first thing in the morning, and then how they would feel at other times. Like, for example, we had a student who had a birthday, and so we talked about how we felt on our birthday. So every day we have a different question. Might be the things they like to eat. So we have a little morning meeting and talk about different things. It's to get them talking. After that, we have phonics and phonemic awareness, which gets them learning. Right now we're talking about the letters and the sounds that they make. Then we have math, and then they have playtime, which is an instructional time. For the early birds, they have their instructional playtime outside while I'm going out and picking up the later gators. And they go out with our reading tutor. After that, we all come back in the classroom and we do either morning work, which is an activity, like right now we're working on learning to write our letters or writing our name, or I do a read aloud. And from 10:45 to 11, I do the calendar, and then we do some review activities. And from 11 to 11:45, we try to do some hands-on learning activities. We may do some activities with Play-Doh or magnetic letters, things like that, where we're working with math and language arts and phonics skills, that where we use things where they can use their hands more. From 11:45 until 12:20, the students go to lunch, and at 12:20, I pick up the early birds and take the early birds out, and they go home. At that time, the later gators go with the reading tutor, and they go out for their playtime, their instructional play. So if we look at this next slide, this is the later gator schedule. So the later gators arrive at 9:45, and so that's when our early birds are outside with their instructional play. And their schedule when they first arrive is exactly the same as the early birds, because during the period of time between 9:45 up until lunch, the early birds and the later gators are together. And at lunchtime, they all go and eat lunch together. And then after lunch, the early birds leave, and the later gators, they go and play out on the playground. And then that's when the later gators come back, and they have that morning meeting that I was talking about with the early birds earlier. And then we kind of repeat what I did in the morning with the early birds with the later gators. So then they'll have their phonics and phonemic awareness, and then their math, and then they go home at 2 o'clock. So with the daily schedule, a lot of people ask us, well, why do we not just have all of the students together the entire day? And the reason for that is because What we do is during that small group time with the early birds in the morning, later gators in the afternoon, we do our writing and phonics and math during that time. And that allows us to differentiate the instruction. So for students who need to go at a slower pace and for us to do things a little slower and allow them to learn at their own pace. So we may slow down and maybe only do one letter a week. For students who need that, we can do that when we have half the class. For students who already, for example, know their letters, we can work a little faster and enrich their curriculum. And so that's why we do that. May Ranch is an Avid elementary school. What does that mean in kindergarten? Well, for us, what that does is we start them on a road to personal responsibility and being independent. So from the very first day of kindergarten, we start talking to them about taking care of their own needs. So if they ask us to help them with putting a jacket on, we don't do it for them. We show them how to do it themselves. Writing their names, we don't do it for them. We may show them how to do it themselves. We want them to start learning how to do things for themselves so that they can feel good about being independent. And it also means that we're the very first people who talk to them about what they want to do later in life. It's a long time away, but we start talking about careers. Not just going to college, but also there are many things that you can do in your life that don't involve college. So we talk about all different kinds of things that you can do when you want to when you grow up. All right. So in kindergarten, we do have academic standards. All of our curriculum is based on the California Common Core standards. And we work very hard on them every day in school. We really appreciate your help at home so that by the end of kindergarten, your child is ready to go to first grade. We'll be talking about this with you throughout the year, and your support is greatly appreciated. We will let you know how your child is doing frequently. Your child is tested every trimester to make sure they're progressing and on mastering the standards that they're required to know. We will be sending home a progress report every 6 weeks. So we've been in school 2 weeks. In about 4 weeks, you'll be getting a progress report letting you know how your child is doing. And then we work on trimesters. So 3 times a year, your child will be getting a report card. All right, so phonemic awareness. You heard me talk about that before. Phonemic awareness is very important in kindergarten. And I'm going to show you a video explaining what phonemic awareness is in a minute. But one of the reasons that we really emphasize it a lot in kindergarten is that research shows that 80% of students with good phonemic awareness skills in kindergarten become fluent readers by 3rd grade. So if your child is not exposed to phonemic awareness skills, the chances of them becoming a fluent reader in 3rd grade are much lower. So Mrs. DeVoe made a good introduction to phonemic awareness, and it's a little 2-minute video, and we're going to watch that now.
Hi, my name is Lori DeVoe, and I'm a kindergarten teacher in the Val Verde district. And today I'm going to be talking to you about phonological awareness. Phonological awareness is actually one of the 5 foundational skills that students need to have to become skilled readers. And the following videos are going to help you to practice phonological awareness at home with your child. So, what is phonological awareness? Phonological awareness is the ability to hear and manipulate sounds in spoken language. So a good way to think about phonological awareness is it's something you can do, your child can do, with their eyes closed. So they're not actually going to be looking at letters, they're not going to be looking at words, it's purely a auditory and an oral skill, something that they hear, and then their ability to be able to speak the sounds. Phonological awareness is actually an umbrella term that includes a variety of sub-skills underneath it. And if you look at the graphic on the right, it kind of shows you that. Now, children actually start at the bottom with rhyming. Rhyming is actually one of the most basic phonological awareness skills, and work their way up to phonemes. Phonemes, which we'll talk more about in some of the other videos, but phonemes are actually the smallest unit of speech sounds that make up individual words. So the following videos will help you to practice these skills with your child and help them to develop and become more proficient in their ability to manipulate sounds. So I encourage you to watch the following videos and to practice along with me. Phonological awareness is something that only really you need to spend about 5 to 10 minutes a day working on, but it will significantly help your child to improve their reading skills. One of the things I always tell parents is it's actually something you'll see as we practice that you can do with your child while you're driving in the car. It's something you can do while you're waiting in line at the grocery store, because you don't need anything other than your ability to speak with your child, to have your child hear you, and then to have your child respond to you. So I look forward to practicing these very important phonological awareness skills with you.
All right, so we will be having Mrs. DeVoe share her phonological awareness videos with you and with the parents or with the students throughout the year. And we do phonemic awareness with our students every day. We have been doing it from the first day of school. If you have had your student come home and recite Twinkle Twinkle Little Star or Hickory Dickory Dock, we have used those 2 nursery rhymes the first couple weeks of school to work on phonemic awareness with your students. So those are good ways to work on phonemic awareness, is to talk about nursery rhymes and do nursery rhymes with your students. Rhyming, like Mrs. DeVoe said, is the very first phonemic awareness skill that your child can work on. And nursery rhymes are a very fun way to teach rhymes. All right, in this next thing we wanted to talk to you about was technology. So on last Friday, your child's Chromebook was sent home. Your child, starting in September, will be having homework, and the Chromebook is going to be used every night in homework. So you need to make sure that you keep the Chromebook plugged in while it's at home so that it stays fully charged. On Wednesdays, every Wednesday, we want to have that Chromebook brought to school so that we can use them on Wednesday with your child at school. We want them sent to school without the charger, so leave your charger at home. Just send the Chromebook, but it needs to be fully charged because we do not have enough outlets to charge everybody's Chromebook here, okay? So you're going to need to set up your Chromebook. We did send a piece of paper home with you with the Chromebook explaining how to get the Chromebook set up for your child. And there is also a link on how to get started on setting up the Chromebook on Blooms. If you have not signed up for Blooms yet, please do so today. You have to download Blooms if you haven't yet, and there's a free app, and then here's the code. Okay, so there's only a couple parents in my class who have not signed up yet, so if you haven't, here's the code. Download Blooms and then enter this code. Alright, so I did talk about homework a couple seconds ago. Our official homework will start the week of September 13th, okay? September 7th through the 10th, we're going to have a practice homework week. And this will be practice homework because we will be getting the children on the Chromebooks and practicing on how to use the Chromebook, okay? So the 7th through the 10th will just be practice, okay? Every night, your child will be bringing home a learning folder. This will be different than the blue folder they already have. So this learning folder that they will be getting looks like this. Okay, so the blue folder will go away. They will be getting a learning folder that looks like this. Okay. And so the homework routine for your child. This homework routine will be on the inside of the homework folder, okay? Every night, your child will have 4 activities to do, okay? The first activity is going to always be up on top. So, every single night, we want your child to watch the sound spelling, May Ranch sound spelling card routine on YouTube, okay? And the way that you do that is right here. You can see it's right there. You're going to, on YouTube, you're going to search to 2021 sound spelling card routine May Ranch. Okay, so if I go over here, and I type in 2021 sound spelling card routine May Ranch. Okay, it comes up with this. Okay, and you will see Mrs. DeVoe and I, and you're going to want to, you're going to want to fast forward it. You can watch it the first time. I always fast forward it to about 3 minutes.
In the Val Verde School District.
And this is the routine right here. And we go through a sound spelling card routine.
Apple. A. Book. Bat. E.
Okay. And this goes through the entire alphabet. All right. So you're going to watch that with your kids. So if you fast forward this to about 3 minutes, it'll take you to where you need to go. So every night the kids are going to do that. And then your child will have 3 other activities to do. They'll always have seesaw. And then they're going to have a fluency folder. And they will have a bag of books that they bring home. Okay, we'll give them a bag of books. And you will read a book with them. Okay? So, and this will be on the folder. It'll never go away. So you'll know exactly what to do with your child every day. All right. Let's see if I can get this to go. So let's talk about the homework activities. So you're going to watch the letters and sounds video on YouTube. Okay, that's assigned every night. That'll take 3 minutes. If it says to read the take-home book to your child, so you're going to get the bag of books, pick one of them out, and encourage them to try to read the words they know. If they don't know the words, you're going to read it to them, okay? That should take about 10 minutes. Some nights, your child will have a paper book that they will bring home. It's a little book that we've read in class. It's called a decodable reader, okay? So this paper book, if it says to read the decodable reader, you will read that with your child. And that should take, they should be able to read that because we've already read that in class. That should take about 10 minutes, okay? And as they bring those home, get a Ziploc bag and collect those so that they can continue reading those throughout the year. It's good practice for them. We also will be having a fluency folder come home. All right, it will be purple. And inside of it, there will be pages of letters and some little math pages. You're going to be doing 2 pages in this folder every night. It'll take 2 minutes to do this at night, okay? And what this is, it's very easy. You just have the child start at the top of the page. It's a page of letters. You just want them to say the letters, but only take 1 minute. Just time them 1 minute. If they can't say the letters, you say the letters and have them repeat it. Do it for 1 minute. So let me show you what this looks like. So they may get a page that looks like this. So you just have them put their finger here, and you put a timer on, and just have them say the letters. So they'd say F, A, Z, W, I. If they don't know the letters, then have them put their finger there, and you say F, have them say F. You say A, have them say A. And you're only going to do it for 1 minute. This is just practice. Okay? So you'll complete 2 pages per night. One letter page, 1 page towards the back that is math. The other thing you're going to be doing is a seesaw activity, and we'll learn more about seesaw later. All right. Okay, so this is the important part. We don't want you spending more than 30 minutes per night on homework. Okay, if you can't get the 4 activities done in 30 minutes, stop at 30 minutes. If your child cannot sit for 30 minutes, do it like 5 minutes at a time or 10 minutes at a time, all right? And please sit with your child while they're doing homework. The most important thing that they can get out of this is the time spent with you, all right? All right. So I want to go over how we do classroom management in kindergarten, okay? So our big goal is for your child to have a great day in kindergarten. We try to do a lot of positive reinforcement. So we have a behavior chart in our class, and it's color-coded. So we start every child on green, and so they have a little clip. Every child has a little clip with their name on it, and every child starts out on green, which means they're ready to learn. What we want to do is make sure, and we just tell the kids, if you're on green, that's great, you're ready to learn. If they do something really super, we move their clip up to blue, and blue means they're making super choices, they're a good citizen, they're ready to learn. If they do something super fantastic, we will move them up to purple. All right. If your child is struggling and breaks a rule, one of our rules that we talk about all the time, I will move their clip down to yellow. And that's a warning. That's after I've given them several reminders about following a rule. And that's just a warning. If I have to move their clip again during the day, it means that they didn't follow more than one rule, and I've given them multiple reminders. And they may get a timeout to another part of the classroom. And then if I have to move their clip another time, it means that they're being very disruptive multiple times during the day, or they did something that was dangerous. Okay, and if that happens, I will contact you in some way to talk to you about it. We do have behavior reports that we will send home. It's on a red piece of paper to let you know about behavior that we feel like you need to know about also. One of the things that we are really emphasizing this year is that they need to keep their hands to themselves, okay? Because of the masking and just our trying to keep them a little socially distant, they need to make sure they keep their hands to themselves this year. One way that you can check on your child's behavior for this year, in that homework folder, they will be bringing home a behavior log every day. There will be a hat, so this is September 6th through the 17th. So here's their hat for Tuesday the 7th. Okay. They will be asked to color their hat each day. If their hat is green, blue, or purple, you know they've had a great day. Okay. Now remember, if they move their clip down and it's yellow, that means they had the warning. Okay. If it is orange or red, that means that they've broken multiple rules. Okay. So let's go back to this. This will be also in their homework folder. So if they color their hat, you'll be able to look at this and see how they did. So if their hat, is red, you'll be able to see and read this, and you'll be able to see. Okay? So please look at their hat every day to see how their behavior was. All right, we also try to give a lot of positive reinforcements. We do a lot of cheers and verbal praise all throughout the day. I do stickers. We have Wrangler bucks, which they can collect to get prizes. And I try to give them a Skittle every day if they stay on green. Okay? All right. So I do like to have a lot of communication. The best way you can communicate with me, honestly, is to be on that Blooms app. Anytime you want to communicate with me, text me through Blooms, okay? You can also write me a note, stick it in their home learning folder. Look at their behavior log every day. I will, if you call the school, I will return your call or email me, but honestly, the best way to get a hold of me is to text me on Blooms. I do love parent volunteers. They are not allowing parent volunteers on campus just yet, but I will let you know when we can have volunteers. I did send a wish list home, and I have gotten many, many items. So, if you want to continue to send things in, you can, but we do have a lot. I have gotten many things, and I appreciate that. I know this has been a long video, but I really appreciate you listening to it. If you have any questions, text me on Blooms. I wanted to let you know that on Wednesday, September 8th, from 6:30 to 7, I would like to have a Zoom parent meeting so that I can help with any technology questions you have about the Chromebook, and so we can get you going on Seesaw. So put that in your calendar, Wednesday, September 8th at 6:30. Thank you so much for coming.